I can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is. And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated? Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did? But, I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why... Hey, pal. You're gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence? Detective Gumshoe. Forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? I've got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, detective? Ho. Well, if you insist. Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it? Here you go. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later. Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're really not allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan. I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem to be in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Miss Von Karma controls everything. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me. I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. What did he mean by that? The very end part? I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Don't scare me like that. Looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me? Is it supposed to be because he's like from the country, like a farmer kind of thing? Is that what this milk thing's all about? Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony. Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Gulp. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. It's such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem. You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Of course I'll cross-examine. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Very well. Mr. Wright, cross-examine the witness. You heartless man. Cross-examining a man in a wheelchair. It sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That sounds awful. Would you like to tell me more? We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. Not seen. That's not a name. What? You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old, and my brother was 4. Parents were very cruel, weren't they? You want to tell us about how cruel your parents were? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the Very Big Circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. Ow! No crying in court. Let's keep going. The witness may proceed with his testimony. This is so sad. That's when the ringmaster of the Very Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a big smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? I know. He seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult. So then, how long have you been a performer? I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Ding-a-ling-berries. So... Alright. It's nearly a household name. I've even heard of them in Germany. Liar. The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus. You are truly a remarkable young man. The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Ow! 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 No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life. Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk. I think that will be enough for now. Wondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely. Exactly right, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Your Honor. I would just like to know, do you know the Muffin Man? Can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead? Well, yeah, I know. We know that one. Of course I can. Now that I've come this far, there's no way I can answer no I can't. Oh, this is gonna be good. Well, the voice is gone. Very well. Then please enlighten the court. Let's see some evidence that proves Acro's motive for killing the ringmaster. It's either Leon the Lion or Bat. Or I guess it could be Regina, but we're gonna go with Bat.
Take that!
Let me just go over this one more time. This is why Acro killed the ringmaster? That is correct. I don't think the defense would mind confirming something for me. What exactly are we supposed to learn? Uh-oh. What are you supposed to learn? Looks like you just won the award for biggest failure in court. Ouch. Biggest failure in court, that stings. In recognition of your honor, let me bestow upon you my special prize. So now what will you do, Mr. Wright? I prefer you hurry up and prove something. Drats. Now I'm really gonna have to think about this. Alright, we're gonna look it up once again. I'm not a huge fan of the way that the game kind of does this sort of thing. I don't like the idea of having these limited options. I really like it, you know, like in Danganronpa when you mess up and everyone just kind of, you know, makes fun of you. You might lose some points, but you get the opportunity to, you know, even if you bottom out, lose all your points. It's like, no, I'm not giving up, you know. I get why they do it. There's some level of difficulty involved. You know, it's not just like, oh, I can just randomly guess until I find the answer. But I feel like it's a simple enough game that I don't know, I kind of want that. I don't necessarily want to have the most challenging experience. And then, you know, if I do end up messing up, which is fairly frequent for me, I might add, having to go and, you know, reload a save. Like, at that point, what's the point? I don't know. Just, I don't know. Let's see. No need to question him now? Is that what we're doing? Or I can't provide one? I don't think I can provide one. I think that's where we're at right now. Give up on presenting things. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? But that's all we do in court, we prove things! That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ow! You foolish attempts to foolish like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was. This is the real killer of Russell Berry, ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things. Acro. You didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness' murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. Was he trying to kill Regina? That actually makes a little bit more sense now. What? Order! Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do in my court? Ow! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Alright. We're just gonna start looking up all the answers. I am gonna give my best guess before I do it, though. I'm pretty sure it's Regina that he wanted to kill. Because the note said, you haven't forgotten what happened 6 months ago, have you? I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Maybe at 10 p.m. And talking about the murderer, who I guess, in this case, the murderer, he means Regina. No, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Unless he's regarding his brother as being dead, which I guess would sort of be a somewhat logical conclusion. And then Regina, so he slipped it into Regina's pocket because he meant it for Regina. But Regina didn't take it as she murdered anybody. And didn't understand what the message was for. I think. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be Regina. Let's look that one up. Regina Berry, yep, okay.
Take that!
Regina Berry? This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
Objection!
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
Objection!
He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to do is say you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough! Mr. Wright, allow me to... Ow! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself. Huh? And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. Let me save really quick. Just in case. Yes, me too! I demand to see some proof! Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl! Let's see. I mean, he didn't know who it was, which is why he went forward, obviously. Because he thought it was Regina, but it turned out to be not Regina. I think the evidence is going to be his brother. Present note. What is note? Do I have note? Oh, that note. Right. Because Acro slipped it in her pocket. He meant it for Regina, but Regina didn't understand it.
Take that!
Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat. Inside the victim's tailcoat? Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, To the Murderer. Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note? Yes, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Order! 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 Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours. It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. It's a game theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board, because I'm gonna be honest, Regina's kind of a weirdo, and that doesn't make any sense. Like, this note got in my pocket, but I don't think it's for me. I'm gonna post it on the bulletin board in case someone else who it was actually meant for, even though it was put into my pocket, is who it was for. Regina's a weird person, okay? Anyway. She placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note? That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in that plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina. That's incredible! Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today. Lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was. I've got it! I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza! And that's when he let the bust fly. Or fall, more accurately. It flew later. Hey, Nick. Isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. Acro wrote this note to Regina!
Objection!
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish you've made even me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then please tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes? That's like not my problem. He wrote that line, not me. What about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Barry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Barry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you say? The ringmaster knew what that note meant, which is why he went to the plaza. In place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. I'm the one that does the hold it. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note? The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago. And now I'm more than ready to show this court what happened at the time. Moron. Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is... it's probably Leon. Oh. Did they put pepper in front of the lion's mouth, which caused him to sneeze, which, caused him to bite down? Is that what happened? I feel like that might be where we're going with this. I'm not entirely sure. It is the small seasoning bottle. Alright.
Take that!
Mmm. Achoo! 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 What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Berry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw.
Objection!
Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim? I think it might have been, Acro. No, Bat. Okay, it was Bat.
Take that!
Who is this? That is Acro's younger brother.
Objection!
What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina, she did that to him. Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. A lion? Miss Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. And everyone knows when you train an animal, it literally can never attack a person. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. So then, what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident. I see. Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? It was more than that. The lion biting Bat was no accident at all. What? You're such an amateur, a foolish fool amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There's no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother, Bat. It's the pepper, right? Is it the pepper again?